There is some big news today in the fight against COVID-19. A U.S. panel is now advising the FDA to lift its pause on the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine. The panel says despite the rare blood clots reported, the vaccine is still safe to use. According to the CDC, there are now 15 reported cases of these blood clots, all confirmed in women. Of those 15 cases, there were 3 deaths, 7 hospitalizations, and 5 were released to go home. These numbers sound scary, but let's put this into perspective. There are 15 reported cases of this rare symptom, while nearly 8 million people have received the single-dose vaccine. Now, most of these women were younger than 50. Advisors to the CDC say the vaccine benefits outweigh the risks. The panel suggested Johnson & Johnson recommend its vaccine to people 18 and older. The FDA still needs to vote on whether it will lift the recommendation. Today's vote was just one step in the process. As you might remember, an Oregon woman died from this rare blood clot 2 weeks after getting the J&J vaccine. She was 50 years old and received her vaccine before the national pause. Oregon state health leaders confirmed the blood clot was the same as the other cases under investigation. The CDC is now looking into her death to see whether it was tied to the vaccine. A blood clot is good sometimes. It helps us stop bleeding when we're hurt. They become a problem if they form when they aren't supposed to. This can restrict blood flow in our veins, leading to issues like stroke or heart attack. Some people have reported these symptoms in the hours and days after getting the J&J vaccine. Headaches, chills, fever, nausea or vomiting, fatigue and abdominal pain. Health experts say if these symptoms occur after several days or weeks, you need to talk to your doctor right away. More serious symptoms can include trouble speaking, seizures, or loss of consciousness. Now, these symptoms occur after getting the shot, but a study by UC San Diego Health says more COVID-19 patients in hospitals developed blood clots than those getting it from the vaccine. According to the study, blood clots in patients increase the chance of death by 74%. Researchers reviewed 42 studies with more than 8,000 patients diagnosed with the virus. Research determined a fifth of patients had blood clots in their veins, and 31% of ICU patients developed blood clots. These kinds of blood clots are known as deep vein thrombosis, which can reach the lungs and cause complications. Now, J&J says Europe will resume its rollout of the vaccine, even though it found a possible link between the vaccine and rare blood clotting. A European agency concluded the benefits outweigh the risks and advised the company to update its packaging to include a warning about unusual blood clots among people with low blood platelets. Experts found the issue in adults under 60 years old who were mostly women within 3 weeks of vaccination. At the time of the investigation, there were just 8 cases of clotting in the U.S., and those were included in the agency's research. Most of the clots occurred in the brain and abdomen. J&J says healthcare professionals will be alerted about the signs and symptoms. Some triad medical experts agree the benefits of getting this vaccine outweigh the risks. It's important to keep in mind nearly 8 million people have received this vaccine and just 15 developed these rare blood clots. They say if you feel strongly about getting this one-dose vaccine, talk with your doctor first to make sure it's right for you.
The benefit of getting the Johnson & Johnson vaccine clearly outweighs any risk that may be associated with it. And I feel very strongly about that, and I'll back up my words on that.
I would feel comfortable getting this as a vaccine option, and I would share that with patients, and I would share it with my loved ones as well.
4,500 people got the J&J vaccine at a Forsyth County mass vaccination event earlier this month. Health leaders say they haven't had any reports of blood clots, and they're hoping to continue distributing it following the CDC and FDA decision.
There is a small group of people who really have a preference for Johnson & Johnson, even with this pause that's occurred. And so we will likely, along with the health department and other healthcare organizations, continue to give Johnson & Johnson vaccine, though we expect to see a lower volume of people that are interested in that vaccine now that there's been the pause.
It's important you know there's no research to suggest these rare blood clots have been an issue for anyone who received the Pfizer or Moderna vaccines. So what makes them different? Well, doctors say it's the technology used to create the vaccines.
While health officials have now recommended pausing the use of the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine, the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines are still being distributed. So how are they different? Let's connect the dots. Pfizer and Moderna's COVID-19 vaccines are new technology called mRNA to protect patients from coronavirus. But the J&J shot uses DNA instead. Researchers took DNA from the coronavirus and put it in something called an adenovirus. That is a common group of viruses that usually cause cold or flu-like symptoms. This one has been modified so it can't replicate in your body, making you sick. It acts as a Trojan horse to prompt your body to create antibodies against coronavirus. There are some advantages to using DNA instead of mRNA. It is more rugged, and that adenovirus helps protect the genetic material inside, which means the Johnson & Johnson vaccine is more durable. It can be kept at normal fridge temperatures for 3 months instead of the extreme cold needed for Moderna and Pfizer's. J&J's vaccine works in similar ways as the AstraZeneca vaccine, which has not yet been approved in the US. While it has been approved for use in Britain and Europe, AstraZeneca's vaccine has run into issues. Several countries briefly paused using it after rare blood clots were reported, though European officials estimate that risk is 1 in a million.
Now, at the same time the CDC conducted its study on the J&J vaccine, there was research in the works on Moderna and Pfizer's vaccines and their impact on pregnant women. Early data shows the two vaccines are safe for expectant mothers. The report, published in the New England Journal of Medicine this week, used self-reported data for more than 35,000 women. The CDC says pregnant women are more vulnerable to severe illness from COVID-19 and more likely to end up in the hospital.
Importantly, no safety concerns were observed for people vaccinated in the 3rd trimester or safety concerns for their babies.
CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky says pregnant women experience the same side effects as anyone else. The study suggests more pregnant women reported pain in their arm, but reported other symptoms like headache, muscle aches, chills, and fever less than the people who weren't pregnant. If you're looking to get a vaccine, several local clinics are accepting walk-ins as well as appointments. The Guilford County Health Department has a clinic tomorrow from 10 to 2 at Oak Hollow Mall and High Point. Tomorrow from 10 to 2 in Greensboro, you can simply walk in at the Greensboro Coliseum. Both clinics are giving first-dose Pfizer vaccines to anyone older than 15. There's no appointment needed, but you can pre-register online. In Forsyth County, appointments are also available for anyone 16 and older. These are also for the 2-dose Pfizer shots. Appointments are available tomorrow and Monday at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds. You can either schedule online or call 336-360-5260. The fairgrounds are also allowing walk-ins, but booking an appointment in advance will save you time. Today's takeaway is this: the system is working as it should. Vaccines are a science. A problem was found and health officials acted quickly by pausing the distribution. Now you can report severe symptoms you may either experience after getting the Johnson & Johnson shot to the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices. You can submit it online at vaers.hhs.gov or call 1-800-822-7967. We'll be right back.